Spice Up Our Love takes place in the fictional world of its eponymous web novel. And this office romance is about dietitian Seo's love story with her boss, Kang Ha-eun. Before love enters their equation, Seo suffers many trials and tribulations trying to come up with the perfect sausage to match the taste of the one Ha-eun had in his childhood. Her every waking minute is spent on the sausage quest, and her boyfriend, Ha-eun's secretary, eventually gets bored of the relationship and breaks up with her. Drunk Seo ends up scolding Ha-eun and his hard-to-please taste buds for her plight, but one thing leads to the other, and a steamy relationship is born. We move over to the real world, where writer, Nam-Jaeon, has sued Bok Gyu-hyun for leaving hate comments on her web novel. As we saw in the 5th episode of No Gain No Love, Jaehyun and Gyu-hyun argued over his apology letter moments before the truck of doom came to join the discussion. The truck missed Gyu-hyun, but Jaehyun has no idea because she already fainted in shock, and this unconscious state is the express ticket that transports her into the story world of Spice Up Our Love. Jaehyun wakes up in Seo's body, and like every Ice Guy character ever, she freaks out. What do you mean she now lives and breathes inside the world she created? What in the meta is going on here? LOL. She attempts to run out of the hospital, but runs into a very worried Ha-eun, who is now hilariously being played by Lee Sang-e, and her freak-level spikes. Is this a prank? Where are the cameras? Unfortunately, this is as real as it gets. Jaehyun's beloved male lead character has taken the form of her real-life nemesis, Gyu-hyun. Her real-life crush/muse for the Ha-eun character has also now become Seo's ex-boyfriend, Kim Dogyeom, and this mirrors Lee Sang-e and Lee Eugene's boss-secretary relationship in No Gain No Love. Despite Jaehyun's, or rather, Seo's escape attempts, she remains stuck in the universe she created. The story's plot also forces her to act out some critical scenes from the novel, and she loses control over her body whenever this happens. It was a little uncomfortable to watch Seo having to act out racy scenes when all she wanted was for Ha-eun to stay away from her. And while they don't go all the way because they're in the PG-15 version of the novel, there's a reason why consent is a thing. Of course, Ha-eun doesn't believe Seo when she tells him that they're living in a novel she created. Not until she uses the power vested in her as the creator to predict that she's going to be trapped in the freezer. Before Ha-eun can blink, it's critical scene time, and Seo disappears from his sight and finds herself in the freezer. Now, Ms. Writer knows she's not going to die of hypothermia because plot armor. But none of the other employees can save her until Ha-eun arrives, and very easily, because he has male lead powers, opens the door to carry her out. It's very romantic and very My Sweet Mobster. And this is the point where Seo falls for Ha-eun. Ha-eun can no longer deny that Seo is his creator and their world is her creation. But this knowledge fills him with much sadness because if the world is not real, it means his feelings for Seo aren't real either. Seo uses her creator powers to take Ha-eun to the sausage restaurant from his childhood, which, by childhood connection logic, used to be owned by Seo's grandmother. LOL. Seo tells Ha-eun that the sausage plot was inspired by memories of when her mother made sausages for her as a child, and she uses this to say that the story world and its characters are a part of her, so it means they are real. Cheer up, Ha-eun. Ha-eun asks Seo what she wants to do in this world she created. And the most logical thing to do after creating a chaebol with a black card is to spend his money. Must be nice. Seo drags Ha-eun along for shopping sprees, lunch in Japan, dessert in France, massages in Thailand, and movie dates and cherry blossom strolls in Seoul. It's literally Ms. Writer's world, and she's having the time of her life in it. Seo also comes across this world's version of Jaehyun and her father, but unlike the abusive relationship they have in the real world, father and daughter have a loving relationship here. This sight makes her tear up, and it's clear that writing is a form of escapism for her. And her story world is modeled after her dream of living with a loving family. Seo pledges to live a happy life with Ha-eun, and it looks like she has accepted her fate in this world. Unfortunately, every good story has an antagonist, and this world's villain is none other than Seo's ex-boyfriend, Do Jaehyun, who, as it turns out, was the one who locked her in the freezer. For his next act of villainy, Do Jaeum gets behind the wheels of doom with his sights set on Yun Seo. Yun Seo makes her peace with the impending accident because the show must go on. But Ha-eun surprises Ms. Writer by going against the story's plot to push her out of the way. So, this is love, Vehicle of doom scenes in real life, in K-dramas leave me rolling my eyes, but this story within a story version was hilarious. Ha-eun could have easily dodged even after he pushed Yun Seo away, but he just stood there because the plot demanded an accident. LOL. But I liked the exaggeration because 1. It highlighted the fantasy nature of this universe. 2. It poked fun at the ridiculousness of Dreamland's truck of doom scenes foot its many deer-in-the-headlights heroes and heroines. Anyway, Ha-eun wakes up in the hospital because the male lead never dies. Asterisk laughs in Uncontrollably Fond, Mr. Sunshine, and a host of other dramas. Asterisk in the romantic hospital rooftop setting. An emotional Yun Seo asks Ha-eun why he saved her. And obviously, it's because he loves her. You're the reason I exist. You're the reason I want to exist. You're the woman I love. Swoon. My swoon is further swooned when Ha-eun takes her hand and says, I love you, Nam Jaeun. Finally, he called Ms. Writer by her real name. Ha-eun and Yun Seo kiss, and it's a happily ever after for them. Our spin-off concludes with Ms. Writer's return to the real world to see her nemesis by her side. It's a spoof of the scene where Jaeun wakes up in the hospital after fainting during Gyu-hyun's confrontation with the truck of doom. Jaeun is surprised and relieved that Gyu-hyun didn't die after all, and they exchange warm smiles. Just like her fictional characters are happy together in their spicy world, Jaeun is back in her world ready to embark on a real-life romance with the man of her dreams. The end. Spice up our love was good fan service, but I got more excitement from the anticipation than from the show itself. This is not to say that it wasn't a fun watch actually. It was a great way to imagine how Jaeun and Gyu-hyun relationships might have turned out without the added drama of his family problems. The problem was that I couldn't fully immerse myself in the story world and in the characters because I kept seeing everything as, a story. It's the curse of self-awareness, really. But I guess that's kind of the point of this spin-off. Anyway, for more realistic Jaeun and Gyu-hyun goodies, please go watch or rewatch No Gain No Love. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next movie. Bye.